Good morning. Happy Labor Day to y'all. Shout out to Alec and everyone else that has done their, 3 minutes or 90 seconds of uncut dry fire. And then you're putting a patch attempt. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are doing great work. Keep it up. I'd like to take this little bit of time. 2 reasons. One, to walk you through how to create good myelination of a proper concealed carry draw path, as well as supply my however many long it is of dry fires. So step by step, this is what I do to kind of keep the concealed carry draw fresh, if you will. I am of the same belief of Brian Hill that if you take your practice and training serious like we do, and then you're putting in good dry fire, 3 to 5 times a week, you're never actually cold per se. So this is how I keep myself from being cold. Today I'm going to be working from appendix like always. Trusty Glock 19. Well, what's left of it's got an OZ9 Hypercomp top end on it, but just regular Glock 19 frame. KSG Armory holster and a big old pillow wedge. All right. We were doing some breakdown analysis of Alec's appendix concealed carry draw. He was using a Glock 19X, which for those that don't know, that means you have a full length frame grip with a compact slide. So probably best case scenario for him, smaller waisted guy with a little bit flatter front, so he can really conceal that larger grip and get a full purchase on it. I don't have a 17 handy or anything like that, so 19 is the closest thing I've got. I do have a magwell on my 19s because it just gives me a little bit of extra meat for that pinky finger. These principles work for smaller guns like the Glock 48, 43X, 365 macro and XL. But then the tiny guns get difficult because your pinky really has nowhere to go. While the principles and concepts are the same, it's just a little more difficult because there's less gun to grab a hold of. So just be aware of that. All right. Start position doesn't really matter. We can start from the interrogation position, hands behind back, hands in pockets, hands stuck in your ears. I really don't care. It's all the same. No matter where you start from, the first goal is to get both hands in action with your non-dominant hand grabbing the cover garment and getting it out of the way. Defeating the cover garment is what we call it. So again, first rule of action here, get both hands in play, get that non-dominant hand on the cover garment and getting it out of the way. I prefer take my hand and scoop up like this and bring it up just a little bit. Watch this right here. And I never go past the gun. All right, so the slide is right here, okay? I'll take my non-dominant hand about here-ish, squinch up just a little bit and pull just a little bit. Look where this hand is. It's right at that sternum, ready to receive and build a good grip. That's the idea. That's the least amount of movement I can put into my non-dominant hand and still achieve that one goal it has in that moment, which is defeating cover garment. All right, again, both hands in action at once. Defeat cover garment with that left hand at the same time. That dominant hand is going to get a pretty good purchase on the gun. Now, it's not going to be able to get great purchase because digging that thumb in behind is a pain in the rear, especially when you have an awesome wedge and that gun is super close to the body. Digging my thumb in behind there ain't happening. So what I do is when I grab the gun, it looks like that right there. Thumb is over the top. This is also a reason why I don't like guns with big beaver tails, because I can't do my appendix draw or concealment draw all that well with them. It just ain't my thing. Now, you'd be like, oh, Tyler, that's a terrible grip. You're right and you're wrong. All I got to do is flip that thumb over, and would we all agree that that is high, tight, and in proper position. Okay. Would I like it to be a little bit more behind that wrist? Yes, but guess what? I can't see it on my right eye. I see it on my left eye. So the gun actually needs to be twisted in my hand just a little to line up in front of my left eye. And that's why my grip, the back strap, is a little more this way than it would if someone was using same eye, same hand. All right, back to the task at hand. Goal is, on the first movement, both hands in play at the same time, feet cover garment, 3 amigos, high tight, webbing of your hand as high as you can get it without flipping the thumb over. And there's your first spot. If you're gonna micro drill this, just simply do that a bunch of times. Simple as that. Now, if you're new to this and you need to slow that down just a little bit, totally fine, okay? Just make sure that you're putting both hands in action at the same time. We have an extreme disparity of dominance in our hands. We just do, right? We have a very favored hand. For me, it was my right hand. For left-handed people, it's your left hand. And for some reason, the non-dominant hand has a hard time keeping up with the dominant hand. We need to lessen that disparity of dominance. One of the life hacks for this is just simply do things with your non-dominant hand in normal life, such as eating, wiping, bathroom, cleaning yourself in the shower, swapping hands when tying shoes, driving, whatever. Just start using your non-dominant hand for more normal tasks. I wouldn't go signing legal documents or anything with you with it, but you see what I'm saying. We can lessen that disparity of dominance. And if we take our conscious mind and super focus it on that non-dominant hand and start making it do things that it's never had to do before, it will start doing what it needs to do. All right, so again, hands at the same time doing something. These 3 amigos need to be getting in under the gun, under the grip, under the trigger guard, high tight, so it comes out, looks like that right there. Now, when do I let go of this shirt? I have a problem when I'm pushing for speed that I will draw the gun and do like that, because for some reason this hand wants to grab and stay grabbing, because it's like, yeah, I'm doing something. Grab, squeeze, crush. And it doesn't want to let go of the shirt when I'm pushing really hard for speed. And that's a lot of things happening really fast for us that are trying to break that constant sub 0.8 of a second draw. That's a lot. That means this hand has to scoop the cover garment, let go of it, and build a grip all in under 0.8 of a second. You're asking a lot out of the hand to squeeze, move, up, unsqueeze, squeeze again. So it takes some time. Anyway, back to the plan here. All right, so this is our spot, okay? In my opinion, this is what sets the pace. You've got to make sure that the 3 amigos are under the gun, under the trigger guard, and where they need to be. So you're not trying to have to rebuild that grip somewhere between the holster and where it needs to be in space. So as soon as that holster exits, as soon as the gun exits the holster, look about where it's at. Right about here is where you can start letting go of that cover garment. Sneak that index finger underneath that trigger guard. There's your first touch. You can build, squeeze, prep, bang. All right. Now let's try that one more time. Build, squeeze, prep, bang. Okay? Because we don't want to just throw the gun out there and be like, oh yeah, bang. That's not very efficient now, is it? We need an economy of motion, if you will. So we're establishing our good 3 amigos. As soon as it comes out of the holster and that left index finger can get underneath that trigger guard, we're gonna flop that thumb over, build, squeeze the gun, prep the trigger. As soon as the dot's there, bang. I have little cutout stencil USPSA targets that I'm going to use here when I start going a little bit more up to speed. And it's really as simple as that. To get really good at this, I would micro drill it, what I told Alec in that video, and that is just simply fitting cover garment and getting a good grip here. Now I'm consciously focusing on both hands being in play at once, left hand fitting cover garment, right hand getting where it needs to get. Alec was having an issue with prioritizing just getting the gun out instead of making sure that this hand was where it needed to be on the gun, and then he would have to fix it during the rest of the draw stroke. You don't have to do that if you would just put the hand in the right place to begin with. All right, back to it. So we micro drill this, excuse me, a few times. Sometimes I'll just be walking around the house and I'll be like, Wah! It's a loaded gun, all right, because it's on me. This one isn't, but you know, in daily life, and I'm at home in the privacy of my own home, I don't have any kids. So that's totally fine. In my opinion, I'm not pulling the gun out. I would never pull a loaded gun out and just, you know, have a loaded gun in space all dilly-dally like. But I will micro this whenever I'm given the chance, because in my opinion, that is one of the most important parts of the concealed carry draw. It sets the pace. And again, I'm consciously focused on, make sure that left hand is getting the cover garment completely out of the way and not over traveling. And this hand is getting as much of a good purchase and grip as it can without digging my thumb around the gun. And then from there, you can just work on releasing the cover garment, finding that touch point, building, squeezing. I think I had my hand over too far when I was doing that. It felt really weird. Yep, that makes more sense. The reason why we don't want to do the crossing, I know it seems obvious to some folks, but if I started with my gun or my cover garment here and I bring it here, well, I can't build the grip with my wrist. I gotta bring this hand back around again, catch the gun and start presenting out. It's no bueno. The whole objective is have that left hand in the right position, ready to receive. What does that look like in practice when you're just trying to warm up and build up and start pushing speed? I'll do about a 2-second draw. So beat 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, bang. Beat 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, bang. Again, I got a little cutout of a USPSA target there. I'm going for high alphas. And focal points and visual focus will be a topic of another day. I'm saying high alpha in my brain as well while I'm talking out the 2 seconds. Beat 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, bang. All right, let's do a 1.5 seconds. Beat 1 Mississippi, 2, bang. 1.5 again. Beat 1 Mississippi, 2, bang. All right, let's do one right at 1 second. And beat 1, 2, 3. My 1 second draw, I just have to go 1, 2, 3. Simple as that. Beat 1, 2, 3. See if I can get you a couple of better angles here. I'll find something to shoot at here. Ooh, that's a little better for y'all. Beat 1, 2, and 3. Beat 1, 2, and 3. And then some of y'all may be like, Tyler, why aren't you using a timer? You know, after doing it so long, I kind of got a timer built in my head. I know humans are terrible at judging time, but I've done the draw so much that I have that specific thing in my head. All right, let's see, good angles. Beat 1, 2, and 3. Now, let's just start going for a little bit of speed. That left hand didn't quite build up the way it wanted it to. The dot still presented it where I wanted it to, so that was convenient. Less than ideal, but not terrible. Bang, bang, bang. All right, get y'all some other angles. Now see, on this one, that left hand ended up a little too far forward, which ends up looking like, let's see if I can, this is really hard to get that angle. All right, that gap right there. That's what that ends up being. All right, let's see. Oh, left hand was late to the game again. man, we're asking a lot of that left hand when we start going sub-second. It just is what it is. There it is. Woo-wee! Beautiful headshot presentation. Oh, I didn't prioritize. I was just trying to whip that gun out of the holster, and look, that right hand did not get on the gun the way I wanted it to. See how far off this way it is? Not good. All right, one more. I'm gonna close this out, and yeah, cool. All right. Any questions? Let me know. This is gonna go to the Deliberate Training group on Facebook, and then I'll also upload it to my YouTube at some point. Thank y'all for watching. Hit me with any questions. Like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You know how to do it. All right, bye.